ladies and gentlemen, as promised, Survival Jim is more than just a gaming channel. We have got some new content. This is the first piece of that new content. What is in Survival Jim's survival bag? Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about what you should have in a normal bag for you. What is a good thing to have? We are coming into fire season, hurricane season, tornado season, and if you're in the horrible West Coast, maybe you have a, I don't know, fall off and slide into the ocean and do us all a favor. However, we may need a bag even if you have to learn how to swim. So we're going to come across items that I believe. Now, this is not the end all be all, okay? You can watch 1,000 videos and so many people will say so many different things. I'm talking about you urbanites who commute to work and back, those that are at home, all of a sudden a fire starts coming, you've got to pack your stuff up and you've got to go. Like you've got to leave, okay? Or you're somebody who travels. Winter has passed for most of us, so you're not gonna have to worry about the blizzard so much. But this bag will adjust based on the time of year for several reasons. One of the things you're gonna want in your bag is water. Water in a can like this will last for a while, or a jar, jug, whatever. It'll last for quite a while. Now, if it's in there for a year or two, it's probably gonna taste disgusting, but it's not bad. It's just deoxygenated. So you're gonna need that oxygen back into it, pour it back and forth between two deals, shake it up, put a little air into it, and it will be enough that you don't die. Humans can survive 3 days without water. That's it. So if you get stuck somewhere, you got 3 days, and usually about 24 hours. Most people are, well, let's just say they're not too happy if they're thirsty. So make sure you're covered, your family's covered. When everybody else is miserable, why do you have to be miserable? So put water in there. Now I put 2 or 3 bottles in my bags. So I got 3 bottles in the standard bag. Okay, this is not yet Survival Jim's bag. This is everybody else's bag. This is just your base bag, okay? Next is freeze-dried food. Please, for the love of God, do not get yourself an MRE, all right? Don't buy the garbage. You don't have to be miserable if you're stranded, all right? MREs suck. Most freeze-dried food are horrible tasting. They're miserable. Don't do that to yourself. You have the opportunity right now, putting something together that you like to eat. Now, for us, not sponsored in any way, hint, hint, Mountain Man, Mountain House, we went through tons of different freeze-dried foods. Mountain House by far was the best actual tasting, and they have the largest amount of different flavors. Now, so for this bag, I believe it was supposed to be for my son. It's got chicken fried rice. We've got fettuccine alfredo with chicken. And we've got just regular fried rice. So 3 good meals. Now, one of these meals right here holds, if you eat the whole container, 820 calories. Now, we're not talking about, hey, we're in the apocalypse and we're running through the woods and we need 2,000 or 3,000 calories a day. We're talking about my car got stranded or I had to leave the house really fast and forgot my wallet, or the power's down and I can't use my ATM card. You're not gonna starve with these, okay? Next, and these pieces here go and coincide with what I've got for the food. This is a very good way to make sure you can have warm food. Who says I have to eat cold garbage? Most of these freeze-dried meals require some kind of hot water. You can, if it's in the summer, put your bottled water, just stick it in the dash of your car. It's gonna heat up enough to make the freeze-dried foods edible. They're not gonna taste really good, but they're gonna be edible, okay? However, this is your chance. Set yourself up with a stove. So we got these little stove packets, okay? So it all comes in one package. I believe we got them from Bass Pro Shields has them. You can find them online really easy. They're not too horribly expensive, but they come with little cups. You got little mixing bowls to put stuff in, a little sponge to clean, another little cup you can scoop with. Works really well if you're breaking down portions. A little wooden spoon. And these ones are very interesting. I'm not 100% sure why they put them in there, but it's a nice little deal. They're not for climbing, says right on them, not for climbing, but a little carabiner. Now, typically you could probably take this and put it around the strap and tie it to the outside of something, but we're not going camping, okay? This is not a package for camping. It's not a bag. It's throw it in your car or have it in your front closet. We got to make a run for it. We got to go grab the most important things. This is it, okay? So a little carabiner to work with it, and a larger deal that you could put on your stove. A larger little mini stove, larger mini stove. I don't, you know me. If you've watched my gaming channel, my brain doesn't work. So it's a larger mini stove. Now, this also comes with lots of fun stuff. A little spoon that folds out, a little knife that folds out, a little fork that folds out. So you don't have to pack with this kit. You don't have to pack extra silverware or worry about using your fingers. It's got utensils that all come in this little package. A bonus piece that comes in this is a little fold out stove piece that you can set your pot on. You flip it all out and your pot can sit on that. And this connects to gas. And you put that together, and you can get all kinds of kits. This is Coleman, just worked for us when we were looking and buying. There's other brands. Again, not sponsored by any of these, so I don't give a shit which one you buy. Just get something that works, that you can, it attaches and you can heat your water, okay? It all folds back up into nice one little small kit. Granted, you're going to want to wait till it cools before you put it all back in the package. But, you know, some people out there, you know who you are. So put that back. It all folds again. It all goes right back into the same piece. We'll see if we can get it back in here without without instructions on how to put it back in there. But yeah, it all goes back in. Doop, 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 doop. And it goes right back on top. And put it right back in the bag. I'll do that later. Don't forget your fuel, though. Just one little canister like this will last you a really long time. So unless you're using it to heat the outdoors, you're going to be just fine for heating your water to put into your food. Now, these next couple of items are extremely important, but people overlook them all the time. An emergency blanket. They pack up small. They can be used for shelters. They can be used just to wrap up in. They can be used to signal, because most of them are reflective in some form or fashion. They have lots of great little uses without taking up a lot of space. You can actually get one of these, just throw it into the glove box or the center console. You never know. Again, winter is over for most of us, so this really isn't a big deal. But again, this is small, it's easy, packed away. I leave it in there no matter what. Hey, if you need something to cover from rain or something like that, this is a good option. And it's got multiple uses, so get one of those. And most of them nowadays are so ridiculously cheap, it doesn't hurt, okay? Next is a first aid kit. This is probably going to be one of your more expensive items. Why in the world something that keeps us from bleeding all over the place costs so damn much? I don't know. You can also make one like this. Go get a little fishing tackle box like this as well. Grab some Band-Aids and some Neosporin and stuff like that, and just put it in your own little box. Now, we were, I don't know, being quick and easy, and we just grabbed it off the shelf. I think they got these from Walmart. Again, you can find them online, Amazon, wherever. but have a first aid kit. There's nothing worse than getting a paper cut in the middle of your car, in the middle of nowhere, and you can't do shit with it. Have a Band-Aid. Easy. Make your own or buy one, doesn't matter, but put it in your kit. The next are matches. Matches always are useful. Your lighters may not necessarily always work, and nowadays with the rest of you goons who vape, you're not going to light shit with a vape. So just some basic matches. And there's multiple ways to do these. You can get it and melt wax into it so that it protects the wood on the matches even more if you want. We just put stuff in a gallon bag, zipped it up, called it good. But matches. Now, if you want to get some little Bic lighters, go ahead and put those in there as well. It doesn't hurt. You're not going to use it. But always put regular wood matches. These have been around for so ridiculously long and have never failed people. Get some wood matches. The next, a little small LED flashlight. Super easy, super small. Never know when you're going to need it. Flashlights are useful to have. And we all say, oh, well, we got cell phones. Look, goofball. This will not fail you, okay? Your cell phone will run out of juice and you will be screwed, and you'll be wishing that you had something else. Little flashlight, some batteries, put them in there. You don't necessarily have to put the batteries in it. If you don't want to, have a package of batteries, throw them in there, no big deal. And then one of the last couple of things here, some paracord. You'll never know when you need this. And let me tell you, from my experience in the military, you can use this for everything. You can use it for a tourniquet. You can use it for hang yourself if it got too bad. You can use it for tying up the dog if you need to. You can use it with your emergency blanket, and you can tie around the corners and stretch it out. And that way you've got shelter and a cover. Again, this bag, it's not for camping. It's not for the, oh, I'm going to go hike in the Himalayas. This is, put some stuff like this together and put it in the back of your car. Throw it in the trunk. Throw it in the front closet by the front door. Just something that you can grab, a bag that has some very important items that you're going to want if things go bad. Very easy. Put it all together. The other items you can put in here, get a knife, okay? Doesn't have to be a Gerber, just a straight bladed knife is just fine. But how do you cut paracord? Let me tell you, I've tried to gnaw through this stuff before. It's almost impossible. So, and not because I was hungry, just because we forgot the damn knife. So, these kind of go together, as well as easier to open bags, packs, make tinder if you need to actually make a real fire. Hopefully you don't. We'll cover stuff like that in the future. And then get yourself, last but not least, get yourself a bag. Any bag will do. I don't suggest this bag, but you can take all of this stuff and put it in a plastic bag. Put it in a small box. Put it in the back of your car and just have it there when you need it. Now, an added bonus piece I would also suggest is take a pair of worn shoes, broke down, okay? Not ruddy, shitty, crappy, got holes in it and the sole's coming off. I'm talking a pair that you've, worked out in for the last year, 6 months. They're still decent, but you're not using them anymore on a daily basis. Put those in there too, because if you're in your car, something happens and you have to walk somewhere, okay? Are you gonna want your high heels? You're not gonna want your high heels. You're gonna wanna put some shoes on because you can be able to walk, okay? So use those items, put those together, put some in plastic bags. Twice a year, you can look at this bag and say, okay, I want to change out the clothes that are in here. Take out a flannel shirt and put in a t-shirt. Take out some extra socks and put some different socks in there. The wool socks for cotton socks. However, something that is going to be fairly comfortable to wear if you have to walk 10 miles to get to an actual phone. Or, I don't know, worst case scenario, an EMP happens and you got to walk all the way home. You've got something that's going to be halfway decent and you're not going to be miserable. all of these items right here, about $150. You're going to be okay with that. Buy one piece at a time every time you go to the grocery store or something like that. Just get one little piece. Put it in a bag as you go. Very cost efficient and effective to be able to build this over time. And again, you can put it in a box, you can put it in a rucksack, a bag, something like that. I suggest if you're doing a rucksack and you think I'm going to have to walk, you get something with a frame on the back of it, not a bag like this that is just soft. You're not going very far in this, being very happy. But you have a framed one, you'll be even better. Again, it's up to you. The important thing is that you have a first aid kit, food, water, and a way to heat it up so you're not miserable. Those are the high pieces right there. Now, you can add in other things, and other people may tell you there's a million other things to do. I'm not talking about the end of the world. I'm not talking about the apocalypse. I'm talking about you just got stranded in the middle of freaking Kansas at 2 a.m. or blizzard, or I've got to be in a hurry to get out of the house. I'm not sure what I need to take with me, but doggone it, I'm not going to be hungry. I'm not going to be thirsty. There's nothing more miserable to make life worse than being hungry or thirsty trying to do something. Okay, so consider these items. Consider a bag, closet, or your car in the trunk. It doesn't take a lot of room, and you will be far happier. Okay, now we've got a couple other niceties. Bug spray, sunscreen, toothpaste, toothbrush, some travel size items like that would be a whole lot better to have if you're really thinking about it. You're going to be somewhere, grab a pair of gloves, throw them in there, but not essential. What I gave you is, in my opinion, in Survival Jim's opinion, the essential items that you want to put in a bag somewhere in your car or vehicle. All right, so now what you really came here for. What does Survival Jim put in his bag? Again, I don't care what anybody else says. This is Survival Jim's bag, okay? 13 years of the U.S. military. I grew up in the mountains as a kid. I've been all over the world. These are the items that I want to have that are available when the time comes for whatever happens, whether it's a fire, tornado, hurricane, EMP, World War III, zombie apocalypse. Oh my God, the sky is falling. That's what Survival Jim packed in his bag over all the years that I've had it, okay? So, again, I've got pretty much the same green bag. We got about 5 or 6 of them. We got them on like sale, some deal somewhere, and I've rucked with this one for about 20 miles, and it was the worst damn thing I ever did, which is why when I'm talking about the other bag, you want to get something with a frame. So I'll be upgrading my bag later. Not talking about it now, or the bag at least, but we're going to go what I have in my bag, okay? Some of the stuff you're like, man, that guy's freaking crazy. Well, if you watch the gaming side of the channel, yeah, I'm a little batshit. Okay, so me, from the years in the military, I don't go anywhere without some Hormel chili with a pop top. I like this stuff. I don't know. You can eat it cold, so it doesn't really require heating. It doesn't require anything, and it lasts forever. I get the with the beans because the without beans, gluten-free kind of stuff has got more poison in it that you just don't get. But I don't go anywhere without some Hormel chili, okay? And we're pulling this out in absolute, complete freaking random because that's how I've got it going. Okay, the other big thing I put in here, if you know what these are, you know what these are, okay? I'm not going to belabor that because this is for educational purposes. That goes with those. And when you're running around out there in the middle of nowhere, there's one thing you definitely don't want to run out of is water and your squirt gun. So make sure you have those things wherever you go. Okay, so now we're going to come across some of the little bitty things that are important for me, okay? I know that I take medications. I know this, okay? I can't hide some extra in my bag, but I do have some other meds. I have them all in the same place in my house, so it's easy to grab them and throw them in this bag. However, items that will stay Gas X. I don't know about you, but when you get anxiety and you've eaten some Hormel chili, well, let's not smoke out the family, all right? Imodium. I really don't want to be in an emergency realizing that all of a sudden I have to stop and do the business, okay? There's nowhere worse than any horror movie you've ever seen of being stuck in a bathroom on a toilet and then bad things happen. So, you know, if it's happening, pop a couple of Imodium, drink some free water, eat your chili, and go. You're at least good for a day. Maybe 2 if you take 3 of them. You're going to feel it, though, that later. I have allergies, so put a little allergy med in there. I got sunscreen, bug spray, some toothpaste, some Vaseline. Look, there's nothing worse when you get out there having to go somewhere and you're going 20 miles or you're out for 2 or 3 days and something starts rubbing. Ouch! It hurts. And Vaseline can pretty much go anywhere on your body. I don't recommend eating it, but I've been told that it won't hurt you if you eat some. Again, I don't recommend it, but it pretty much can go anywhere and stop the rubbing, cover wounds, things like that. You can't do without it. Now, I have water, but PG&E, or P&G, yeah, P&G, has these wonderful little packets. I've got 4 of them in here. You can get water from a swamp. Drop one of these packets in there. You mix it up really, really good. It's got some great instructions all on the back. You mix it up really good. You let it sit. All the contaminants and everything sink to the bottom. And then you've got clean water on the top. And if you haven't seen these, you can look it up. P&G Purifier of Water. They actually, P&G has a program that they send stuff like this to like Africa and third world countries to help them purify water. These are great. You can buy them in a nice big package and then split them up between your family and whatnot. They've got a chlorine in them, stuff like that. Mark Rober, if you've ever watched his channel, he actually does a video with some kids on these kind of packets. Very, very useful. They don't go bad ever. Worthwhile having. Again, a knife. Just a regular straight bladed knife. Nothing fancy, nothing special. You don't have to get a Gerber, Leatherman, or any of that other stuff. You don't have to. Now look, if you've got one, great, toss it in your bag. But James, I just use a regular knife. I got lots more of that. Okay, why do I have a knife? Well, because I carry 150 feet of thick paracord. You never know when you're gonna need something like this. And again, if I gotta beat the whatever out of you, it doesn't leave marks. I'm kidding. Sort of. I also have another thinner level of paracord. Nothing fancy, just smaller, a little bit less of it. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the wet wipe. Now, I go dude wipes because, well, they're dude wipes. This is a great product. Again, I'm not sponsored by these guys. There's a couple of things that if I was, I would tell them that I'd want them to do differently. But these are great for men, definitely. There's nothing worse than forgetting your Imodium and then you have to do the deed and you have swamp ass as you're trying to walk somewhere. You don't have to be miserable, gentlemen. You don't. A couple of these. Swamp ass is gone, you're good to go. Get some. They pretty much last forever as long as the bag doesn't get punctured and poked. You'll thank me. Your wife will probably thank you, or your girlfriend will thank you too. And if you've got kids and you're hauling them around, they'll thank you as well. Now, I got the same stove kit that we just went over in the have in a bag, so I'm not going to recover this one again. Again, same power source. Same stuff that goes with that, so I'm not going to go over that in detail. Back up if you want to see that. My Foods. I've got chicken fried rice, I've got beef stew, and rice and chicken. Chicken fried rice, rice and chicken, these are usually very easy on somebody's digestive system. So go with something that you know. Again, your personal opinion, your flavor, just don't get a damn MRE. I see people say, oh, well, I got MREs. No, you don't. You have the most disgusting food in the world that even most of the military doesn't want to eat. Okay? Yes, maybe the cheese will plug you up for a week. Okay, so you don't carry the Imodium. Go through the MRE, grab the cheese packets and throw them in there and eat those only. Save yourself the weight and space. These will do just fine, and they taste so much better. Don't be miserable. Again, I carry lots of water. Okay, I carry like I got 4 bottles of water in there, along with Life Straw, the P&G water filter tablets. I have been thirsty. If you've ever been in the military and you've been stuck in the middle of the desert at 140-degree heat and you haven't had anything to drink all day long, you'll understand what thirsty is. And if you've been one of those unfortunate people where you haven't been able to get water for over 24 hours, it really sucks. And I know that from experience. I don't want to be out of water. So if you think, oh, I could do that, I challenge you. Go ahead and drink no soda, no water, no liquids, no juice, no nothing for 24 hours. Okay? And then tell me how you feel after that. I guarantee you, you're going to want water. You're going to want anything you can put your hands on. So just save yourself. Just because things went bad doesn't mean you have to be miserable. Everybody else can be miserable. You don't have to. And we're going to go back into the same thing here. I've got a flashlight, bright orange, ripcord, a regular blanket, my matches, and a regular first aid kit. Now, again, make your first aid kit the way you want, but it's got Tylenol and gauze and Neosporin and Band-Aids and all the kind of the good things that you need. I have another emergency kit completely separate from this bag that if I had to grab, I could, and it's got even more materials in it. Maybe we'll cover that later. But this is what I carry in my bag. Now, I have an IFAK kit. This is a very comprehensive medical kit. I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but you can order them. It's got, you know, the safety scissors or the surgical scissors. These things cut through pennies. At least mine does. Has done it several times. Since we don't use pennies anymore, try it. Then it's got rubber gloves and gauze and intubation tubes and several other items, as well as on the outside of it, it has a tourniquet system as well. Now, again, this is what I carry. I've been trained in a lot of this, so I know how to use all of this equipment to include the tourniquet. So I carry this in my kit as well. I don't want to be without something that I might need when my family relies on it. Now, it doesn't mean because I'm a man, my family relies on it. It's because I want to make sure my family's taken care of, so they don't have to think about these things. I think about them. Another good item to have here is a radio. It's got this radio here. It's got a hand crank, so I can crank it up to give it power. I don't have to worry about batteries. It's got a solar panel on the top, so I can use that as well. And it's going to give me anything that comes across the radio waves. It's got an alert system is on here. The NOAA band is on here as well. So if I really need to and they're still around, I've got it. It's got a USB port and a Type-C port on it as well as a flashlight. So this has really got an all-round, really good deal. This one came from Craftsman. Again, I'm not sponsored by anybody here, but it has what it's got and it's useful, okay? Then we also have, and all of my family has one of these, it's just a little solar bank. That's it. Its only purpose is it has a USB cable to it. That's it. Because we're all stuck to cell phones now. This has got a great way to do it. It's got USB, it's got the Type C, Type A, or whatever those other ones are that, you know. But from time to time, just take a look at it, plug your phone into it, make sure that it still charges in the sun and whatnot. It holds a charge for a while, and then you can just plug into it and use it at night if you need to as well, or charge your phone. Again, we're kind of stuck to our phones, but I want to make sure I have other methods too. If my phone gets cracked or destroyed or busted, I have other ways to be able to communicate. Now, I don't even know how to say it, but the fun stuff is I have a SOG blade. If you ever need to chop small branches, things like that, if you know how to use one, it can be a very good defensive weapon without making a lot of noise. So I have one of these. You don't have to have a SOG. Again, I'm not sponsored by any of these, but I got a whole kit of some really good stuff. I believe this brand is actually really strong. I've used it several other times. Now, I got this a couple years ago. Brands change, but always test your equipment, make sure you know what you've got. So I've got one of these as well. And then I have a nice battle tomahawk, a throwing tomahawk. I keep one of these with my bag. Again, it can be used both in the wilderness if I need to use it, plus it is also a defensive weapon if I need to use it as well. Again, I know how to use this, so don't go playing around with it, but understand what you have and be trained in it. That is the most important thing. Don't start throwing a bunch of garbage in your bag that you don't know how to use, you haven't taken out, you've never been trained with it, you don't know anything about it. Because when your life depends on it, if you don't know how to use it, you might as well just put a rock in there. Just caveman that shit and bash somebody with a rock. That's the only thing you're going to be able to do. So make sure you know your equipment. You've tested it. You've tested your food. You know your medical equipment. You know that you have stuff that you want. Again, this is not the end all be all. And other people will say, oh my God, what about this? What about that? Listen. I'm not trying to scale the Himalayas. I have the basic stuff that I feel I need to take care of my family in an emergency if things go south. Whatever the south is, hurricanes, blizzards, tornadoes, earthquakes, it doesn't matter, okay? There may be a time that you're going to need to grab stuff, and if in a moment you're panicking, you're going to forget something. But if you put stuff in a bag, okay, you have it ready to go, and periodically you check and make sure you've got what you need, whether it's in the vehicle or in the front door closet or somewhere else where you can get to it quickly, you're going to be better off than 80% of the rest of the population that is in the same situation. Most people don't prepare for this stuff in any way. And I'm not a prepper. I'm just a be prepared person. Make sure you're prepared. Fires, hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever it is. You would rather have one bag you can grab and run off. If you have a dog or a cat, put a gallon bag of dog food or cat food, or get cans of that kind of stuff and put it in your bag as well. Add an extra bottle of water for them. Don't forget them. They're family too. And if you're one of those butthole people out there who's like, you know, bite me. My dogs are family. I'm taking them with me. Okay? So just have your stuff together. Think about these things. It may not be something you have to put together right now, but think about it. This is just a piece to say, what am I going to do? You may do something completely different, but at the very minimum, this video has reminded you to think about it. If you don't do anything, well, when you're miserable and you're thirsty, you'll remember, oh, where's that video from Survival Jim and I didn't do a damn thing. Don't blame me because I told you. So that's what's in the basic bag, and that's what's in Survival Jim's bag. This is an educational piece. It is not the end all be all. I am not telling you how to do anything medically. I'm not telling you how to defend yourself. I'm just telling you of things that you should think of to put in some kind of tote, bag, rucksack, doesn't matter. Have it for an emergency. Don't depend that when things happen, you're going to have everything you need the second you have it. So, thank you very much. Welcome to the second part of the Survival Gym channel and Survival Gym Enterprises, where we are going to cover more items like this, as well as the gaming side, and we're still going to have a lot of fun with that. We've got things where my daughter's going to show survival cooking. We're going to go across thinking about 9 meals from Anarchy. We're going to think about some medical stuff. Again, I'm not a medical professional. I'm going to show you some stuff of what I have. Maybe I get lucky and I can do something with another medical professional, an EMT or something like that, that can actually help educate us on some more basic stuff that is actually a professional that is fully trained. And we're going to come up with a couple other good items. So we've got a lot to work on here on the second part of Survival Gym, which is going to be actual surviving. Again, I'm not covering things like going to the Himalayas. I'm not covering things that are like bushcraft. Most of you live in a house. Let's act like it. But let's also be prepared that in case we have to leave our home, we are not miserable and dependent on somebody else to help us with our own needs. So thank you very much. Again, please share, follow, like, subscribe, do all of the fun stuff out there. Pass this around. We are going to do some amazingly fun stuff, but I only am able to do that through y'all's support and being able to share and grow the channel. Thank you very much, and catch you on the next one.